Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Monday Live. I think I have a post-it note stuck to the bottom of my shoe. Welcome to Facebook Live. It's Monday, December, I think 7th. Yes, final answer. I hope you guys are ready for a great day of stamping. It's time to get my Stampin' Lips on. Oh, always better after that. There we go. It is lovely to see all of your beautiful faces on here. I hope you had a great weekend. I spent part of the weekend relaxing and knitting. I'm almost done with the shawl, so I'm very excited about that. And I spent part of the weekend stamping, and I'm very excited about that as well. I have just about all of my projects complete for my December classes. I will have all of that information posting on my blog. I sent an email out yesterday, although I kind of wonder if it went out because I haven't really seen anybody register, and that's not normal. So I'm gonna have to double check that, because now that I think about it, I don't believe I remember seeing the email come to me either. So I will check that out. Oh, Kathy's saying nope, you didn't get anything. Okay, well then that makes me think it didn't go. That's weird because I thought I had it scheduled, so that's not good. Brenda, oh, she's retyped. Oh wait, somebody's saying I did get one. I did send one to my team, but not to my customers with classes. Okay. All right. Well, watch for that because it'll be going out. We also have some big stuff going on. Tomorrow is going to be, Tina, I'm going to go through all of that. Tomorrow is going to be our big annual closeout sale. There's a whole bunch of stuff that is on there that you can get for up to 50% off. Some things have no discount. Some things have, I think it's between 10 and 50%. So some great deals to be had. Shop early for the best selection of items. And of course, you know me, I had to add something special to that. So I've got some fun things as well, and I'll go through all of that here in just a moment. What else was I going to say? So I have classes coming up this month. I have two. One is the In the Pines class, and I alluded to that last week, I think, because we did a really pretty watercolory In the Pines card, and that class is going to go out oh my gosh, I think next week already, so it's a really quick turnaround. And then I also am going to have a sympathy card, although you can do anything with it, class that is going to be based on the Pretty Peony. And if we have time, we'll make a card with that bundle. I'm just looking for my bundle so that I can pull it down for you guys. But it is a really beautiful stamp set, and we're going to make cards that are kind of based on sympathy cards, but of course you could make them anything you want, but it's kind of that season where sympathy cards are definitely needed. And sympathy card classes are actually one of my most popular class all time, because I think people just need sympathy cards, and so they want to get them made up ahead of time so they have them on hand when the time comes. And then my In the Pines class is going to be masculine themed cards and all occasion cards. It's not a Christmas card class. I will share a bunch of Christmas card ideas with you, but it's actually not a Christmas card class. It is all occasion and masculine themed. I love those trees so much. So yeah, that is that is the intention with that. So I'm really excited. Did I do my unboxing video? No, I did not. And the reason is I was really mad. My delivery did not come in time. And then I got busy. I had to get other stuff done when I had help last week. So I couldn't do my unboxing video. I still might try and do that, but I was thwarted by the UPS. So that was a little bit frustrating. Okay. Also, I really need some help. If you are local to me here in the Quad Cities, I would love to have some more help. I am running down about a person and a half right now from normal, and I really would like another helper. Someone asked about classes. Can Canadians get them? Yes, they're open to everybody worldwide for the PDF version. I can only send the pre-cut cardstock packets to people in the US, but otherwise you can. Kathy is going to ask her husband if she can move to Iowa. That would be awesome. And I know so many of you would love to help me if you're in my area, but you're not. And it's so sad that you're not. We wish you were here. But if you are in the area, or maybe you know somebody who might be looking for a job, I would love to have another helper. We do all kinds of fun things here. We prep and package packets for classes. We make cards. We do all kinds of things. Lots of shipping and lots of happy mailing. So, yes. You live 20 minutes from Iowa. Allison, do you live near the Quad Cities? Because I am on the eastern border with Illinois, and I would love to have help. So anyway, the other thing that I want to tell you about is the special I have going on. It's a few things. So I have the 12 Days of Christmas going on right now with my the 12 Days of Christmas going on with my VIPs, and VIPs are people who have ordered from me. And if you are a VIP, I have a special Facebook group, and we've been doing all kinds of stuff over there the last couple days, and we have quite a few more days coming up. And each day we have some inspiration. I've been giving prizes away. There was mystery stamping the other night, which you can still participate in. There is a card challenge. There's all kinds of stuff going on. But one of the things is I have an awesome special for anybody can take advantage of this. And it is, if you spend $50 in my online store, you will get the All-Star Tutorial Bundle for free, which of course is probably sitting over next to my computer. And then if you spend $100, you can get my new stamp set for free. Does ordering classes count towards the VIP? And the answer to that is no. My VIP group is set up to reward people who order through my online store. So that is how that works. And I'm just pulling my stamp set out. Okay, so this is my stamp set. And so if you spend $100, you'll get this for free. You do need to use my host code, and I'll put all that information in the link of this video. So then also, if you spend $150, you will get the stamp set plus the online class PDF. And if you spend $200, you'll get the stamp set, the online class PDF, plus the pre-cut cardstock, in addition to that All-Star Tutorial PDF, which is a $15 value. So all of that together is like 80, I think it was $81. So awesome, awesome deal if you order through me. Now you do need to use the host code in order to get this special, because I'm giving away so much. The host code is what helps pay for all of that. And the online class and all the things will be delivered in January. So that's exciting. Also, you can be, of course, part of the VIPs if you haven't ever ordered from me. And I've got all kinds of fun stuff happening over there, as I mentioned, and it's not too late to get to be a part of all of that. So watch for that. Then let's see, I'm looking and trying to see what's going on because there's a whole bunch of comments and questions and things. Oh, Tisha, sounds like you have the virus. I'm so sorry to hear that. Let's see. Bingo. You are signed up for bingo. How do you play? So Robin, when you signed up for bingo, you picked 5 numbers, and those numbers will be your bingo numbers. And then I'll explain everything tomorrow. And then I will, oops, sorry, I'm jiggling everything. I will also be sending an email out tomorrow with the details about game night. So don't worry, it's really easy. You just need your numbers. And if you forgot them, I'll do an announcement at the beginning for anybody who misses or who doesn't have their numbers. You gotta shut off Outlander. I know, right? I was a little sad because we watched a bunch of episodes on Saturday night. That was when I was relaxing and knitting. And then I wanted to watch some last night, and my husband was like, I'm not really in the mood for Outlander. And I was like, I am. So maybe tonight I might get to sneak one episode in, I hope. Because, so good. Let's see. What else was I going to say? Yes, game night is tomorrow night, and I believe my packets have sold out. If they haven't, you can still register, but I think they may be sold out. And we have really awesome projects. I was actually just kind of tweaking a couple things this afternoon, and I'm very excited about them. They're super cute. So that'll be fun. Let's see, what else do I have to tell you? So let me talk a little bit about that year-end clearance. So that's happening, it starts like tonight at midnight. Let's see. It is going to be things from the holiday catalog, and I'm going to do a special video showing everything that's on the list and what's being discontinued and whatnot. And I'll probably actually do that yet tonight. So I'll go page by page through the catalog to talk about what's getting discontinued, what's carrying over, and when those things are available. So all of those things can be a little complicated to figure out. So I'll do a video to explain all of it for you guys to help you. And then, like I said, the special goes live at midnight Mountain Time tonight. And the midnight, so keep that in mind, it's Mountain Time. I have before stayed up till midnight Central Time and then realized I was in the wrong time zone. And that's kind of a bummer. So don't do what I've done in the past. Oops. All right. So I think I'm going to go ahead and flip my camera. I'm going to show you my visuals for my things that are going on. And I'm going to grab, I feel like I have something next to my computer that I'm going to grab. So hold on 1 second. Yeah, that thing where you wait up and then it's not happening, that's a big fat bummer. Okay, I'm going to go grab it. I'll be right back. Hi.
Hey, you're not live.
Well, I am live.
You are live.
I'm looking for something I printed off, and of course I don't see it.
Is it the Facebook class?
Oh, is it? Yeah, that stuff. Is there more than one?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, bring all that over here. Whitney's to the rescue. Okay. So thank you so much. I don't need that. Okay. So first of all, this is the Artistry Blooms PDF, which is going to be my gift with purchase, with a $50 purchase from my online store during the month of December. These cards are so pretty and happy and fun and not Christmas, so they're just wonderful. And then as mentioned, as promised, there are actually 3 lists for the year-end closeout. And as I mentioned, things are anywhere from 10 to 50% off, so that's really awesome. And I'm going to go through all of these items for you in a special live separate from this. And like I said, it'll probably be later tonight. And then there's some items that are carrying over to the annual catalog and some items that are carrying over to the holiday catalog next year. And so I'll explain all of that stuff for you. Okay. Then my December Facebook class is going to be up tomorrow. The class won't actually start till next week, but just be aware of that. Next up, I've got my In the Pines online class, as well as my Peony Garden Creativity to Go kit. These are my 2 classes for December, and the registration is open, except I don't think the link went out. So watch for that. I do have just a few of my Gnome for the Holiday Creativity to Go kits from November. And oh my gosh, you guys, seriously, the cards were so cute. It wasn't even funny. They're really, 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 really adorable. And I've gotten some amazing comments back from people who took the class. So if you want to still get in on that, just let me know. And then, as promised, game night. Game night is tomorrow night. So I'm really looking forward to having some fun with you guys tomorrow night. I've got great projects planned, great prizes to share, and all kinds of fun stuff happening. So I'm very excited about that. And if you are registered, there will be an email going out tomorrow with all the details. And then tonight is going to kick off mystery stamping tonight. And so you can join the fun in our Stampin' Game Night Workshop Facebook group. And all of that information was in your confirmation email, so check that. And otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow for that. So now it's time to get stamping. So the first, oh, actually, that's almost time to get stamping. I've got a stamp set to give away. I had drawn Jennifer Rowan. So Jennifer gets a free stamp set. She shared my video last week, and congratulations to her. I think I've drawn her name before. So good for you, Jennifer. We'll send this stamp set out to you. Okay. Now, as for, do you like, this is my pile for stuff for projects today. Okay. So we're going to make some really awesome projects. I like to think we always do, but you never know. All right, so my first card is actually going to feature the Snow Wonder bundle, and this is actually one of the ones we're going to use tomorrow night during game night. I really liked this card, or well, I really like this stamp set. And do you see how it's kind of centered from? Yeah, thanks. Okay. So okay. All right. Sorry, just reading the comments. Okay. So for this, I'm going to use some StazOn ink. One of the requests we had was to use some blender pens. So we're going to use blender pens. And because we're using blender pens, we want to use permanent ink. So I'm using Stays On, which is a permanent black ink. And I'm going to stamp that on this scrap of paper. Okay, and there we go. Oh, looks fantastic. Next, what I want to do is I'm going to use some colored pencils, and you can use colored pencils with blender pens or with water pens. And blender pens are just kind of like clear liquid. You can see that's clear, and they're not too wet, which is nice. So they're pretty easy to use. And you can use them with watercolor pencils. You can use them with your ink pads when you squeeze the ink to the lid and pick up the ink that way. So like you could pick it up like this and then color it on like that. So there you go. Okay, it sounds like people are having some blurriness issues. My guess is it's related to your internet connection as well as the settings you have. If your internet is not super strong, I would recommend changing your settings to be a lower resolution, and then it should come up better. So hopefully that helps you. But it's not me, it's you. Okay. So now I've got this beautiful card this beautiful snowman that I've stamped. So I want to color it in, and I'm going to use some red and some pumpkin pie. So I'm just going to color the pumpkin pie on here. It doesn't show up terribly well. And then I'm going to use the red. So I can color the red right on here. And then I'm going to use my blender pen to kind of blend the color. And we'll color on there like so. Same with, I've got Old Olive. And then what happens is when I blend the colors, they look really pretty. Okay, so let me show you. We'll start with, well, this pumpkin pie is not a very good example because it's not much there. But you can see I'm going to clean off my blender pen, and then I'm just going to blend the red in the scarf. And I didn't really do much shading, mainly because there's so much dark on here. But all that this does is it will blend out the color. And then you can see I got to get rid of that. I'm thinking my ink pad wasn't quite dry. Then you just scribble till it runs clear. Then you blend the next piece and get rid of it. And this maybe it wasn't the most perfect example because of the fact that it's so dark. But one of the other things you can do is I want to add some Bermuda Bay, but this is pretty dark. As you can see, I'm just scribbling. You can see the background is getting picked up from my my work surface. But I want to add some blue to this and keep it kind of light. So I can kind of pick some of that up and then blend it on here. And the nice part about that is it won't be too dark. This will just kind of go on a bit lighter, so I can control how much intensity there is when I do it off on the side. I'm just going to do a little bit more on this bottom one and then some more up here. And that kind of gives us a little more interest to our snowman. Blender pens work a lot like watercolor, but they're not nearly as wet. So you can't get all the same effects that you can with watercolor, but you could also use them on Whisper White cardstock, which is what this is. Whereas you couldn't watercolor on Whisper White with watercolors because that would just be too wet. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Maybe we'll do just a little bit like that. And then we need to take and run this through our Stamp and Cut Emboss machine, which we're going to now call it the Big Boss. That's the word on the street, is we're calling it the Big Boss. And then there's also the Baby Boss, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I've got my die that I'm going to put right on top of here, and then I'll just hold it in place with a Post-it. I'm going to run it through my Big Shot real quick. Oh, my Stamp and Cut Emboss machine. I just did it. Darn it. Today is all about the snow. I'm really hoping for a white Christmas this year. So yeah, kind of fun. All right. So there we go. There is our cute little snowman. Isn't he adorable? Now let's put this together in a card. So I'm going to start. I have taken, well, first of all, I've got a half a sheet of thick white cardstock. I like to use thick white for my card bases that are white because it's more like colored cardstock. It's that heavier weight. I also embossed a piece of, this is, oh, and I always forget the name of this. It's like the Old World map. I think that's what it's called. Or it's old paper, worn paper, torn paper, I don't know, something like that. Anyway, I embossed a quarter sheet, so we're going to adhere that to our card front. And I just like the look. I think it's kind of fun. It's paper, but it's just something a little different. I've been using my my Old World paper. Thank you, Catherine. I know you told me that last time I used it too. I have been using the winter snow folder so much lately, I just needed to take a break from it. And this card is loosely based on two different cards. But one of them is a card that I got from Gwen, who is a demonstrator that I do a swap with. And she gave me this card at an event that I was at back in October. So I really liked her card. And then I'm kind of combining it with another idea that I had from a different card. Okay, so having said that, I wanted to cut a 3/4 inch strip of some of my plaid tidings DSP. I just love this. I'm live. And I'm going to adhere that to the edge of my card right here because, oh my gosh, it's so cute.
I ran with Cole.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to adhere this, like I said, to my card base. And I think this is a little longer than my card, but that's okay. So there we go. That looks good. And then I'm going to trim this off. Oh, by the way, did I mention when I was talking about my special that your stamp set would include an autograph by me and like a cute little message? Yeah, I probably didn't mention that part. That was the important part too. I don't know what made me just think of that, but there you go. Okay, so I love the look of this so far. Now I wanted to add a little bit of pizzazz to this. So I'm going to take, I have to decide if this is going to be too busy or not. I'm going to take some of this ribbon. This is actually the Playful Pets ribbon combo ribbon. And then we're going to add this. I don't think it's too bad. I think it'll work. I think we can add this ribbon. But there's nothing like a little bit of plaid with a little bit of this ribbon to make everything super cute. I feel like, though, I might need a little more length. Okay, And then I'm just gonna tie this in a bow on here, and that bow is pretty loose. So let's tie this. Let's tie a knot and then we'll tie a bow so that it stays in place. Yeah, I really like the red too. I think it is nice. I just wasn't sure if the stitching would be too much. Okay, so I'm gonna tie this in. Oh my gosh, there, that's tighter. And then we're gonna glue dot it. I have a little break in my nail that is catching on my ribbon, which is making me not super happy. Okay. So there we go. Tied my bow. Looks cute. And then because it's not doing what I want, we're gonna make it do what I want. And stick this down like so. Okay, so there we go. There's our cute little bow. And then I've got my little snowman. Now, of course, we're gonna pop the snowman up. I mean, hello. Okay, so that looks cute. Now I've also gone ahead and die cut a couple of snowflakes from my snowflake dies, and actually I might have meant to put these on first. This is from the Snowflake Splendor Suite. So I've just die cut a couple of white snowflakes, and I do need to pop this up. I knew I wasn't ready to put that down. Ugh. Okay, so here's a little trick for you. I'm just going to stick this on here, because then that'll keep these from sticking. And then we're going to add these snowflakes to the background with, you guessed it, a glue dot. And then we will stick our snowman down over the top of them. Like that. Oh, and that worked really well because it's, oh, I see what I did. Oh my goodness. Dina can't catch a break today. That glue dot didn't stick. This ripped, so it's not sticking. Everything's sticking to my fingernails. Okay, so there we go. And now I'm just going to take a couple of rhinestones and adhere them to the centers of my snowflakes. Like so. And then last but not least, we need a sentiment for this super cute card, right? So there's a couple of different things that we could use. I think one of the requests we had were for thank you cards. So I think I'm gonna just use this thank you. Now it says thank you for all that you are, and I don't think we quite need all that. I think we could just do with the thank you. So to do that part, we're going to take and, ooh, I just dropped my block. We're going to take and mask off part of this, okay? So I'm just gonna cover that part up, and then I'm gonna stamp thank you. I've got a little scrap piece of Whisper White that I can adhere, and I'm going to stamp thank you in my black ink to coordinate. This is Stays On, just because that's the ink that I used before. Ooh, important, take the Post-it note off. So critical to success. Okay, so there's my nice vivid thank you. It's just a teeny bit crooked. Don't worry, we can fix that. Okay. So this is, I gotta measure. 3.5. That's what I was thinking, but then I wasn't sure. 3.5 inches. And then, you know what? It's not too bad, so we're gonna leave it. We'll adhere that right to our card, like so. Okay. So cute. Isn't that just adorable? So there is a very sweet snowman thank you. And like I said, we're going to be using this set during our game night tomorrow night. So lots of fun stuff. Actually, I'm really excited about the card one of the cards in particular that we're making tomorrow night with this set. All right, next up, we are going to make a, well, actually, we're going to make, well, okay, sorry, I'm switching gears just a teeny bit. Since we just had our snowflakes out from the Snowflake Wishes, I thought I would make a simple Snowflake Wishes card. And this one is going to be, like I said, kind of simple, but it packs a pretty big punch. And if you caught my video from yesterday, my Simple to Stunning video, you might know the color scheme I'm going to be working with. I couldn't get that out of my head after I made those really fun, bright, happy cards yesterday. So I thought we could do a card today. So I went ahead and die cut each of these snowflakes in these bright, fun colors. And so I thought that I would use this. One of the questions that I'm seeing is coming up is what do I clean my Stays On ink off of with my stamps? I actually clean them with just my regular Stampin' Scrub, but not my chamois, my Stampin' Scrub. And that works pretty well with just regular stamp cleaner. So this is a really old one, but you'll get the drift. So I'm just going to use my Stampin' Mist, and then I will clean this off like this. I'm kind of doing it off to the side because sometimes you can get a little schmutz. Are you doing the thank you? Oh, so good.
I had one saved, but it took too long to find, so I'm just retyping it. I probably
And you can see that cleaned off pretty well. So yeah, that's how I use mine. But it's the Stampin' Scrub that really makes a difference. So you can see that came off really well. The Stampin' Chamois does not clean Stays On off. So there you go. Okay, so next we're going to take these fun snowflakes, and I thought it might be kind of cool to, I got to see if this is the right size because I'm not sure. Oh, it's the right size. Happy dance. All right. So I'm going to punch out 5 circles. Like that. And then I'm going to adhere one of these snowflakes to each circle. And I think the best way to do that is with my silicone mat. So I'm going to take this with some liquid glue. And yes, the silicone mat is found in our online store. And then I will take my little Stampin' Sponge that's got a good thick layer of glue on it, kind of spread this out, and then I'll attach one of these to each circle, like so. That is good. And then we'll do this one, and I'm not too worried if the little pieces in the center are there or not. It's not the end of the world. And by the way, to all of you who are now addicted to Outlander, you're welcome. You are welcome. So good. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's that one. And I also really want to go to Scotland now. Okay, and then one last one. Running out of glue. Don't rip, don't rip, don't rip. You don't need much glue, but... Okay, so there we go. So we've got one of these on each circle. And then what we're going to do is attach these to our card. Here we go. So I'm going to start with this up here, and then this one. And then, let's see, that one. And that one. And you know what? I might actually change my mind completely and turn this into something completely different. So bear with me. That's just what happens sometimes. Okay, so I thought this would fit a little better on my card than it is. So I'm going to switch to something a little bit different. And that is, we're going to make a slimline card. We made one last week. And so I think I'm going to do 7. I'm going to do 3.5 by 7.5. Let's see. And then I'll score this at 3 3/4. Okay, so I've got an 8.5 inch piece of paper that, so it's 8.5 inches by 7 3/4, and then 7.5, and then I scored at 3 3/4. Sorry, 3 3/4. So the folded size is 3 3/4 by 8.5. And so what I'm going to do is put these on here like so. Okay. And then our last circle is going to be thank you so much. And maybe we won't even do it on a circle. We'll just stamp it on here. So that will be cute. Okay, so there's one. 2. Don't you love it when things happen differently than you planned, but then they're better? 3, 4, 5. With just enough room for our sentiment, which we're going to stamp in so we'll stamp this in Whisper White ink. And then I think I might just add a little touch of these teeny snowflakes, these really little ones, in a few spots, just to kind of add a little fun through here. So cute. So we don't want it to be too overwhelming, so I'm not putting it absolutely everywhere, but I'm just adding a few here and there. And look at this card is so big, it doesn't even fit in the screen. But that is just a really simple card. And then last week I showed you how to make an envelope to fit this. So yeah. Oh, but wait. Obviously we need to put rhinestones on these. I mean, hello. It would be complete insanity to skip this step. Okay, so there we go. There's the rhinestones that make everything better. Okay, so that's 2 snowflake cards, or two cards with snowflakes on them. I do want it to be a white Christmas. I know not all of you agree with me, and that's okay. Luckily, we don't judge here at the Creativity Cave, so it's all good. So there we go. Now we're going to switch gears. Oops, this doesn't go in here. We're going to switch gears and create a card that does not have snow on it. This is a guest request, and I actually meant to do this card probably a month or 2 ago, but I finally found the sample, and so I wanted to create this for you. We are going to feature my friend Terry Gaines' $1 Million stamp set, which is called Framed for You, and I really like this. It is such a pretty stamp set. I have not done very much with it, and so I'm really excited to play with this with you guys today. So the first thing we're going to do is stamp our frame, and I think I might use my Stamparatus for this just because it's kind of a big stamp otherwise. And we're going to use the Stamparatus for some other stuff in a little bit here. Okay, so I have it handy. All right, and this is a clear stamp set. So what I want to do is I've just got a scrap of Very Vanilla. I'm going to put this out here, and then I'm going to stamp this right on my scrap. Oops. And we'll stamp this in some crumb cake. Okay, now you guys are going to probably laugh at me. My crumb cake ink pad needed to be re-inked really bad, but I didn't want to re-ink it because I really like when it's kind of lightly inked. So if this one looks bad, I don't know. In an image like this, it helps. Oh, that's not too bad. It helps to make sure the ink is worked into your stamp pad. Now, if your ink is not worked into your stamp pad, here's how you do that. You just take, I've got a spoon. You can get these at Target for like literally $1 or less. I'm sure Walmart would have them too. Just individual spoons. Mine actually came in a 3-pack. And so I'm going to flip this, or actually I'll pull another so we can compare and contrast and decide which is best. Do you want to print labels too?
What?
Game night labels?
Yes, I can do that too.
Awesome. Whitney's the best. Okay. Yeah, that's a little better. Sometimes you can see a little more detail when it's not too juicy of an ink pad. Okay. So anyway, both of these look pretty good, so I think we're good. All right. I'm going to set that aside. And then what I want to do is die cut this, okay? And sorry, I'm just grabbing my dies. I'm almost positive that this, oops, not that one, not the largest, but I believe the second largest. Yes, we'll die cut this out. Perfect. Okay, so let's take, we'll stick a Post-it on there and run it through quick. Oh, and there we are, a perfectly cut frame. So nice. All right, so let's do a little stamping on this. So we've got our beautiful frame here. And so I just used the nested stitched, or not the nested stitched, this are the layering squares dies. Final answer. Second to largest die. Okay, so I want to take and add a little bit of greenery to this. And there's a couple, oh dear, oh shoo. Oh, I thought I lost one of my stamps, but false alarm. It's okay.
It's okay. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. So there's a couple of leafy images. I'm going to take one of them, and this is my Pear Pizzazz ink, and I'm just going to stamp kind of a little swag. And you can see I'm going to stamp full strength and stamped off on here, and maybe a third one on either side. And then I'm going to add the little pine cones in some early espresso. And there we go. So really pretty. All right, then what I'm going to do is take and stamp kind of a border on a panel of Very Vanilla. And for this, I'm going to pull in some paper to protect my work surface so I can stamp off a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take that same green and actually I think I'm going to stamp my little pine cones first. So I'll stamp 1, 2, 3, 4 on here. And then I'm going to add kind of the greenery between each. And I'll do a little bit full strength and a little bit stamped off. Actually, I wanted that one stamped off. And then I'll fill in where necessary. There we go. So we just have a pretty border going down the side. Okay. And then, oh, I also want to stamp my sentiment, and this set has several sentiments that are nice. There's a sympathy, a birthday, a sending hugs, love and hugs, and a thinking of you. So I really like those sentiments. So we're going to use the thinking of you because that's just a good kind of all-purpose sentiment, I think. So we'll stamp that in our frame like so. Now, I want to add some texture to both of these panels. So I'm going to start with my Tasteful Textile embossing folder, and I'm going to run the background through that one. Okay. So I'm going to put that through my Big Boss like that. And then you can see there's some texture on there. So it's really pretty. And those pine cones look fantastic. I'm going to do the same thing to this. But I think instead of the Tasteful Textile embossing folder, I'm going to use the Subtle embossing folder. Because the Subtle embossing folder is, wait for it, a little more subtle. You're welcome. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Of course, I dropped it. Okay. So here we go. And look at that. Oh, I love the look. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is I want to layer this on some early espresso. So I'm going to cut a quick layer. And this is, get my handy ruler out. This is 2 5/8 square, just double checking. I mean that the part that it's square. So I'm gonna do my rectangle at 2 3. Well, actually, I'll do 2 7/8. If that's too much, we can always trim it down. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. So let me adhere this with my seal. And then I'm going to pop this layer up on top of my panel here. And then I'm also going to layer my piece of vanilla on a panel of early espresso. And then my card base will be crumb cake. Like so. Dun, 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 dun. So we'll fold that. Okay. So nice. And last but not least, we're going to add a little bow to this. So I will tie a bow with my linen thread. And we'll attach that right there. Sorry. Now, do you ever get frustrated when your linen thread doesn't curl the way you want it to curl? Let me help you with this. If you take your thumb and curl it like curling ribbon with your fingernail, it will kind of undo whatever way it's going and sort of loosen it up, and then you tend to have a little more control over it. So that's what I like to do. So we'll just add that, and this is too long, so we'll snip that off a little bit. And there we go. That put a little more curl back in. And oh, it looks adorable now. Everybody's happy. Okay, so I'm just putting my glue dot log on there, and then we'll adhere this down. And that is a really pretty card. Very simple and pretty. Ooh, you know what this needs? No, it doesn't need sparkle. Good guess, Whitney. It needs spritz. Little crumb cake spritz. And that, my friends, really added a lot. Just see a little bit of that. So crumb cake is not too intense. I wouldn't want to do like early espresso on here because that would probably be a little overpowering, but the crumb cake is just kind of nice. And if we wanted to put, we could put some little shimmer on here, but if we didn't put shimmer, this would be nice for a man card. You put shimmer on there and, you know, you're kind of, you kind of are pegging it to a woman, generally speaking. Okay, so there's that one. That was a good looking card, wasn't it? All right, my next card is, ooh, this was the one I actually wanted to do last week, but forgot about. You're welcome. That makes me giggle a little bit. I really liked this card and have been wanting to make it ever since. And I feel like this was a Stampin' Up card somewhere, but I can't find it. And so I'm doing it from memory, so who knows if it's even right. But, oh, actually I wanted this ink pad out. Okay, so this is with another $1 Million set. This is from my friend Leanne Greff's Life is Beautiful stamp set, and this is a really fantastic stamp set. Love it. And you could do lots of different things with this, but I really like this one, and I've been itching to use this stamp for a long time, so that's what we're going to do with this. I'm going to start with a piece of crumb cake, just as before. And I mentioned I needed my Stamparatus. So I did want to use my Stamparatus to make this card. So what I'm going to do is put my, well, actually I already have this on here. Oh, but I gotta, because this is a photopolymer, I need my pad. Okay, so we'll put this in here like so. That pad helps take up the difference because it is a thin photopolymer. There's no foam. So we put a foam pad in to make up for that difference. And since I already had this in here, I'm just going to kind of line it up again. And that looks pretty good. Of course, I just moved it. I'm cool with that. Okay, so I'm going to ink up my tree in some, what is this? Crumb cake. Oh, so hard to remember all these colors. By the way, the best thing is to take, put your sleeve down, and that way you can easily rub all over this large image, like so. I saw somebody somewhere was making one of these. There was a comment on a stamping group somewhere, and I was like, oh my gosh, just use your sleeve. I got distracted and never made that comment though. I just thought that was funny. Okay, so I've got that on here and I love this, but what I want to do next is actually take a second and let this dry. Because we're going to emboss next, and I want to make sure that this is not wet when I go to do my stamping, so that the embossing powder is only going to pick up where I want it to. Okay, and as mentioned, I wanted to use that one really cool image. So this little, I like to call it sprinkles, but in my opinion, it could be a snowflake. either way. We're going to stamp that. So I'm going to use my white ink again, once again. And I'm just going to stamp this right over my tree. Like so. Oh. Now you could leave it like that if you wanted, but we're going to emboss this. So I've got my white embossing powder. And look at that. It did stick to my tree a little bit, but we're going to work on it. Let's see. I'm actually going to take my Take Your Pick tool. Now to alleviate this, if you have an embossing buddy, that works really well. I'm literally scraping this away with the tacky end of my Take Your Pick tool, just because I don't want that extra embossing on there. I mean, it's probably not the end of the world, but it's gonna bug me, and I don't want my card to be annoyed, or I don't want to be annoyed with my card because of this. Okay. So that's not too bad. There's a few little speckles on there, but it's not too bad. All right, so let's heat this baby. Now you can see that with the powder melting, they turn a little bit more vibrant white, which I know all you can see right now is my heat gun, but in a second. Okay, so now they're much more vibrant. There's still a few speckles of that white on there, but it's not too bad. Okay, so there we go. That looks awesome. I have a real red card base for this, and we're just going to take and score this quick at 5.5 inches. And the reason I chose this type of card versus the other way, this is cut a halfway the long way. It is, well, mainly because that's the piece of real red that I had cut and ready to go in my stash, but also because then I can tie some ribbon around this. I generally don't do cards in this layout very often, but the reason is mostly because of I just cut everything the other way, and that's mainly why. So it's not that fancy of a reason, to be honest. Okay, let's pop this up on here. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to put a panel on here. Okay. Sorry, there was powder on that and I didn't like touching it. Okay, but we're going to add some ribbon, and I'm going to add, do I dare try to tie another bow with this ribbon? We'll see if it works. I just love this red ribbon. It's so cute. So again, this, we used this earlier. This is from the Playful Pets. The Playful Pets ribbon combo pack. And I'm trying to keep my ribbon nice and taut here as I tie my bow. I think I did it. Yay me. Okay. And then, let's see. I wanted to use actually one of the sentiments from this. No. Well, yeah, Christmas wishes and joyful greetings. I kind of like that. Oh, no. Okay. Actually, I wanted to use, maybe it was from Snowflake stamp set. Let us see here. Where did my snowflakes go? Oh. Oh, well, actually, warm wishes for a happy Christmas. We're going to do that. This is from Best Year. We used the thank you earlier. Sorry, I kept changing my mind. It's so hard when you can't decide. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp this on a scrap of some crumb cake. And I think, well, maybe we'll heat emboss that as well. Let's just see here. Oh, are you putting away all that paper?
Yeah, I'm not real long and lean.
Ooh, it's nice and tall.
Not tall.
So you guys are going to laugh. Here at the Creativity Cave, Dina gets a little tense when her cardstock stash goes below 20 packages of white. And so
I feel better.
I believe there are about 50 packages over there. And I'm feeling good about that number.
An acceptable level.
That is an acceptable level.
Same with glue dots.
Same with glue dots. No, it's dimensionals.
That's what it is. It's dimensional.
Dimensionals. If there aren't 50 packages of dimensionals, I'm definitely not comfortable.
Get a little skittish around here.
Yes. Oh, can you make up 8 adhesive kits?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. So we are going to emboss this one because it just is going to look good. Okay. She's saying she's so short. I'm pretty sure she's got at least an inch on me, maybe 2. Okay, why heat it from the bottom? Why not? Partly so you can see it, and partly because you can. It doesn't honestly matter. Although someone once told me that that is actually the correct way to do it. So, but you can see it easier when it's heated from the bottom. Because if you were on here when I heated the trees up, you might have noticed that you couldn't really see anything because the heat gun was in the way. Okay, now I was thinking I might be able to just add a little extra to this with a punched tag. So let me show you what I mean by that. I've got a scrap of real red, and this is too wide to put on here, but what we could do is cut this in half and then just have a little bit peeking out the top and bottom, and then that would add a nice little bit of dimension to this right here. Okay, so to do that, let's see. Okay. Sorry, I was reading comments. So I'm just going to have the top portion of this stick out, and then we'll line this up so that we have the same amount on the bottom. And we'll even put it on straight for you. Then what I can do on the back is I can see whether or not it is straight, like centered. Okay, and look at that. How nice is that? Can I dry emboss after heat embossing? Do you mean like emboss a, and the answer to that is probably. But you are going to smush the embossing a little bit, and so it might not look quite as pretty or perfect as it once was. So it kind of depends on the image. I think these wouldn't be a big deal, but maybe if you were doing a sentiment, I wouldn't want the sentiment to get bumpy afterwards, if that makes sense. So, okay. So I'm just going to add this. I do want to cut just a little bit more off because it's not quite centered. It's close. There we go. I think that's nicely centered. And then we're going to add this to our card. Obviously popped up. Okay. There we go. So that looks really nice. But wait, there's more. This one is just itching for some spritzing. So I'm going to take my clear wing Castella and smack this against here. And then that gives us a little bit of shimmer spritz on our card. And so you can see all of that shimmer on here is really pretty. So there we go. Okay, so let me bring in the cards that I created today, and then I'm gonna mention my stuff that's coming up and going on, and then I will also be sending that email out that I meant to send earlier. So first of all, we have this beautiful card with the Life is Beautiful stamp set. Then we did the Framed for You card. Then we did our tall snowflake card or slimline card. And then our thanks so much with the blender pen and a little plaid tidings and the Snow Wonder. So lots of fun cards today. Okay. So tomorrow, or actually tonight late, is going to be our year-end clearance sale. So actually, I'll probably send you 2 emails. One is going to have the year-end clearance information in it, and then the other one's going to have the class information in it. That way it's not too confusing. Second, that year-end clearance is going to start tonight at midnight Mountain Time, so don't forget Mountain Time. And then the other thing is I will later tonight go through the list for you in my catalog page by page. So have your catalog handy. I'll give you a little warning on my Facebook page. Otherwise, I'll show up again here live on my YouTube channel once again to help you sort through all those things. Then when you order from me, I've got a great tiered special. So there's lots of goodies you can get from me. First of all, if you spend $50, you get the Artistry Blooms All-Star Tutorial. And this is a collaboration of 12 awesome projects featuring the Artistry Blooms suite from the annual catalog. And the cards are really wonderful. And there's a video tutorial for each project, so it's pretty awesome. And then if you spend $100, you can get an autographed copy of my stamp set, Pretty Perennials. I'm so excited about this. This is going to come out in January, and so this gift is going to come out in January. Then if you spend $150, you can get the online class PDF to go with this class. Again, that will come out in January. And then finally, if you spend $100 or $200, you get the PDF, the stamp set that's autographed, the online class PDF, plus the pre-cut cardstock. And all of that together is an $81 value. That's how much you'd have to pay if you bought it individually. So it's a pretty great deal. You do need to use my host code. I'll put all that information in this video description as soon as I'm done here. And all of that is good through the 14th of December. The online clearance, like I said, that's going to start tomorrow or tonight overnight. And the sooner you get it, the better. And then Catherine said, if I order the bundle from you in January, will I sign it? Yes. So I will offer a class version of this in January. This is just an option to get your stamp set for free. If you would like to pay for it, that's fine. And yes, I will autograph stamp sets that are purchased through me. If you're on my team, I will talk about that on our team page for you guys. So yeah, lots of awesome opportunities. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you right here tomorrow night. And then mystery stamping starts in about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. So check that out with game night. Thank you guys again so much for being here with me today, and have a great week. Bye-bye.